Hello everyone, hi, it's Linda Dolke. I am coming to you from the east coast of Australia. If you don't know our geography very well over here, that I'm actually on the same side as Sydney, about an hour and a half north of there. So if that helps anyone know where I am, that's great. How are we all tonight? Good to have you girls with me. I see we have a good crowd here. You know what? You guys have been talking so much. I have no chance of going through all those comments before I go live. But I'm not complaining. I think it's great that you guys all get on here and chat. And Cookie's having a chat tonight as well. So he says hi, as you can hear. The cats have been locked out. They're actually in the lounge room with my husband, who has had a good week. Thank you to everyone who has asked. He's doing much, much better. Thank you very much. He's been looking after himself and taking it pretty easy. But he's not allowed to lift anything heavier than, well, one doctor said 5 kilos, one doctor said 10. So we're, you know, so long as he keeps it under 10, I guess, that's all I can hope for. And he's not allowed to drive. So that means I'm the one who's doing all the stuff, but that's okay. I don't mind. It's just with the two of us here. It's not that hard, and yeah, it's all fantastic. So thank you so much to everyone for your well wishes this week. A week ago from now, and I wasn't live because I was at the hospital. So I'm very glad to be with you tonight. All right, so individuals, I'm so sorry I'm not going to be able to say everybody's names, but I'm just going to pick up a couple of names that I see standing out to me. Hi there, Joan. Hello, Marilyn. How are you? Hello, Leslie. I put up a post on my VIP group today. For anyone who's not in my VIP group, if you're in Australia, you can be in that group. That's for my customers and people that I'm associated with through this business. And as long as you're in Australia, you can be in that group. So I'll put the name of the group up. So if anyone's in Australia and would like to join, it's Linda Dolke's private Stampin' VIP group. Okay, so it's a bit of a mouthful. I kind of wish I'd given it a catchier, more fun name, but that's what it is. And if you're in Australia but you're not part of that group, you might want to do that. Sometimes we just chat about stuff. Sometimes, I put information up about things I'm doing business-wise, which people like to know when I'm doing something different, whether that be classes or whether it be upcoming things. So today we were talking about the weather. We were talking about rain and how when it's really raining all the time, even though it's not always the best, if you want to go out and do things, it's great if you want to get crafty, right? Because it gives you an excuse just to get your craft on. That's what's good about the rain. So that's where the group is, Linda Dolke's private Stampin' VIP group. Head over there, search for it on Facebook. Head over there and hit the button request to join. There's a couple of questions like whether or not you're in Australia and questions like that. So just to join the group so I know that it's really you. All right, let me get rid of that banner. Okay, and go back to the chat where I can see everybody. Oh, it's wet in Christchurch as well, is it, Sheila? You could empty and load the dishwasher. Funny, that I don't think that's happened. I think I'm the one doing that. But that's okay. I don't mind. He's moving around a little bit, but not too much. So he's still very sore. It's major abdominal surgery. So for anyone who doesn't know, he had his gallbladder out. His very sick, awful gallbladder came out last Monday. So that means that he's feeling very tender at the moment. So Joan is asking you a question, Ali, all the way from England. Hello, hello. How are you, Maria? Nice to have you with us. Katrina, hi. Nice to see you. Rose. Oh, we've got everybody here. Hello, Deb. Nice to see you here. I could spend all night saying hi to everybody, but let's not. Let's get going. And I'm going to switch over to the desk. And before I do that, our bundle sale, there's a week left and then it's all done. So if you had your eye on particular bundles in the catalogue or in the online store, you need to grab them this week while they're marked down. So they are 10% extra off. So a bundle is already 10% off, but at the moment they're an extra 10% off. So basically you're getting bundles at 20% off what they would be if you were to buy those items separately. So it's a good deal. The other thing that's 10% off this month is the cut and emboss machines, all of them, both the minis, the blue one, the white one. The blue one's the cheapest. It's $5 cheaper than the white, just because it was part of a special promotion. And once those blue ones are gone, they won't have the blue one anymore. So the blue one's only while stocks last. The white one's around to stay, and also the big cut and emboss, if I can say it properly, the big cut and emboss machine, that one is also on sale. So they're 10% off. So that's a good deal, given that they're not cheap items. So it's a great thing to be able to get an extra 10% off those. So there we go. I'm just looking through. If I've missed any questions, I'm very sorry. There are so many comments. If you've asked a question and I didn't answer, please ask it again, and I'll try and keep my eye on the comments for a little while. If you see me looking off to this direction, that's what I'm doing. I'm reading comments. So Joan, Joan, you're from England originally, right? Is that correct? You said you come from a small town in Worcestershire. Oh, did I say that right? Is it Worcestershire? Is that how you say it? Is it like the sauce? They say there are 3 things in life that are really hard to say. I love you, I'm sorry, and Worcestershire. Now I can't say it. Now I can't say it. Worcestershire sauce. That's what it is. So there you go. Those are the 3 things that are hard to say. Good. Okay. It is great to see our group expanding. Isn't that lovely, Cherie? So this week, for those of you who missed the announcement, I hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is a goal I've had for quite a while, and yay! I was so excited to hit that number. So of course, I don't say we're going to stop now. We're going to keep growing, and you know, who knows? Maybe we'll get to 15. Maybe we'll get to 20 sometime soon. Who knows? So it's taken me. I was working it out. 15 years to get to 10,000. I'm hoping it won't take me that long to get the next 10,000. So don't let Paul lift more than 5 kilos, and that's in capital letters. Okay, I will tell him. He's been pretty good. He has picked up Merlot though, and Merlot weighs 9.5 kilos. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that is a problem. I have seen him holding Merlot, and he really shouldn't, right? Where Crumpet's 5 or 6 kilos, he's probably okay. But so that's the big black and white cat. He's the heavy one. He's a big buffer. And then we've got Crumpet, who's sort of nearly half his size. So it's crazy. I still think of Crumpet as a little tiny baby because he's so small next to Merlot. But he's actually an average size cat. It's just that Merlot's a giant thing. So I know, right? Oh, dear. Yeah, thank you, Ronnie. Thank you so much, and all you girls saying congratulations. It was very exciting to hit that number. So it's just great to see it growing. I started doing this. Some of you know the story during COVID. I had already had the channel going since 2009, but I started doing live videos like this Friday night and Sunday night. I started that during COVID, like when COVID first started, like March or April 2020. I did it for a couple of reasons. First of all, I was worried my business was going to, I had a reasonably, my business was doing pretty good. And then COVID came along, no events. We couldn't run classes. We couldn't do workshops. It was all locked down. And I thought, what the heck am I going to do? And I decided I would do this as a way of connecting people for a few reasons. First, of course, I hope people will watch my videos and maybe make a purchase? Of course I do. And that is a huge part of, doing these lives and connecting people and getting people to see ways to use product that they might think, oh, wow, I would like to buy that product. And I hope that they'll buy it with me. Or, at least if they buy it with Stampin' Up, then everybody wins. But, I do hope that that some people who watch my videos will eventually purchase with me. That is one reason, but it's not the only reason I do these, because I realized I was so afraid when COVID first started. It was really terrifying. I was looking at the news and watching and seeing what was going on. It was scary. And I thought, if I'm scared, then I bet a lot of my customers are scared too. And maybe if I just I listened to another demonstrator in the US. Her name's Barb Broomhall, and I think she's wonderful. And I heard her say, you just need to show up for your customers. Just keep going. And I thought, you know, like Dory, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. I thought I can do this. And maybe if I'm scared, other people are scared, and let's all show up together and be part of a community so this horrible, awful COVID thing doesn't take over everything. So that's what I decided to do. I just wanted to show up for everybody. I wanted to show up for my team. I wanted to show up for my customers and for other crafters out there. And that's how it all got started. And it sort of turned into this beautiful community, wonderful group of people that is you guys who come along and listen to these lives all the time. And it's wonderful. I love it. And I know you guys love it too. It is a lot of people. Like if you were to put, Monique, if you were to put, like if I had 10,000 people show up in my front yard, I would think that was a lot of people. Sometimes I don't have any concept of how many people that actually is. It's a lot, right? So it's kind of crazy. Exactly. We had to get more connected. And I think crafting is a fantastic way of connecting people because we're all, you know, got that common ground and it's something that we all love to do. So I've probably rambled enough, but I just wanted to say again, this is why I do what I do. And thank you for being part of this community. Thank you for being part of what I do. And it means a lot to me. And I know that this group means a lot to all of you. So okay, let's go. I'm going to switch over to the desk and let's get this thing happening. All right, so here we have our beautiful new catalog. This, I'm still saying new. It came out at the early part of May. I think it was the 1st of May it came out. So it's been going nearly 2 months. Can you believe that? We're almost at the end of June, only a week left of this month. And then next month, we have some new online exclusives coming out. And I'm going to show you some stuff tonight that you might like to see. It's been your savior. That's lovely, Sheila. You know, thank you so much, Paula. Thank you. My mother-in-law is watching all the way from Michigan in the US. What are you doing up at this hour? Isn't it very late where you are? I know it is. So anyway, I'm just watching. Oh, and we've got someone from Ohio, which is not very far from Michigan. In fact, my husband lived in Ohio before he moved to Australia. So there you go. Because he's from Michigan, obviously, as well. But it's just lovely watching all of you guys connect with each other, and I know how much you look forward to this. That's why I hated having to cancel last Sunday night, right? Cherie said, hi, Mum. Oh, you were doing a Bible study? In the middle of the night? All right. Well, okay, here we go. I wanted to show you tonight one of my favorite bundles. Oh, I didn't mean to hit that button, but Margaret's comment has popped up, and I think that's my fault for accidentally hitting the button. That the crafting lives have helped her through her cancer battle. I mean, how important is this? So good, right? And then Rose said that this group has got her for heaps and still is. Oh, my goodness. It's just fabulous to see everybody, you know, popping on. So what I wanted to play with tonight you'll find on 40 and 41. I have shown it to you before, but seeing as this is the last week of the bundles, I'm actually going to focus on my favorite bundles. Okay, I just thought this would be really nice. And here are the bits and pieces that are part of this. Is the Wildly Flowering. All the bundles, or the suites. A suite is a whole collection. Okay. Now, normally I would say if you love everything in the suite, you can put in the code that's at the top when you're in the online store, and it will give you the price. With just one code, you'll get everything that's on the page. Normally, I would suggest you do that. But right now, can I suggest that if you love all of this, you would be better off buying the bundle, which is just the stamps and dies down here, the Wildflower Designs bundle. That's 10% off, and then you're going to get another 10% off that. So it's only going to be $77 or something like that. I probably should have worked that out. But anyway, 10% off this number, okay? So it's not an expensive bundle, and then adding these other bits in on top of that would be cheaper than buying the suite right now. And after the end of June, you'd be better off buying the whole suite again. But right now, it's actually cheaper to buy the bundle as a separate purchase and then each of the items. All right, so that is the reason. So the Wildflower Designs is absolutely gorgeous. I love the sentiments and I love the images, but I'm actually the most excited about the dies. The dies in this set, you can see them up here, are absolutely fantastic. There are, is it 7 or 8? 7 of them. but you kind of get a couple of bonuses in this one. All right, so we have this. This is actually does a frame. Can you see that? It like does this very thin frame, but by default, because you're cutting a frame, the middle is going to fall out, so it's like giving you an extra shape. All right, so you get the hexagon as well as the frame when you cut this one. The same with this one. Okay, when you cut this little frilly frame, okay, you're going to get the middle hexagon as well. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, this is the piece that has fallen out of there when I used the frilly frame on something, and then this is the piece that fell out, right? And then you've got an actual smaller hexagon, and you've also got some little framelets here that match up with some of the dies, sorry, some of the stamps, the images in the stamp set. So this is a really great set, and I've been using it a lot. I used it in scrapbooking, and I've also used it for cards. So it's a very, very versatile set. And if you're looking for something that's going to do double duty scrapbooking and cards, then this is probably a great set for you to focus on. It's a really good one. The other thing I love is I love the other components in it as well. There's this folder called Dashing Designs. We might use that tonight. I hadn't actually thought about that, but that might be nice. And then there's these. Oh, there's a dimensional back. All right, these little guys, if I can hold them still, can you see the texture on those? I love these. I think they're fantastic. So there's bigger ones and smaller ones, and they're kind of like got a bronze look to them. So the name of them is actually adhesive backed textured dots. That's what they're called, and they've got that beautiful texture. All right, so they're those. And then, of course, we have the gorgeous paper. Now I have a pack of paper here, but I've chopped it up so much, I'm actually going to open a new pack, because this pack is, I want to show you all the pieces, and I have used up so much of the other pack, I wouldn't be able to show you all the pieces if I didn't open a new one. So, right, so the colours in this, it always tells you on the back of the packs, the colours: Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Misty Moonlight, Moody Mauve, Mossy Meadow, and Wild Wheat. So there's quite a few neutrally kind of colours in there. So I think that's a really cool thing, that we've got lots of neutrals, and then that means it's going to look really good with all your like crumb cakes and basic beige and all those neutral colors. I used this one on a scrapbook page last month, and I really loved it. I'll have to show that to you. I think I have shown it before, but if anyone would like to see it again, let me know in the comments and I'll grab it out. All right, then we've got, got your smaller, there's always a bigger design on one side, or usually you'll find a bigger design on one side and a smaller design on the other side. Okay, and then here we've got like I don't know if I can get it close, like a textured, oh, can you see the texture? It's a bit hard to see under the light, but yeah, it's got like, it looks like it's canvas or something like that. And then this one here with the crumb cake background, and it's got a canvas in the background as well. Can you see that? It looks like upholstery. That's what it reminds me of. Does anyone else think that? Ooh, Christine was saying it's her anniversary. Happy anniversary. I'm just looking through my comments. Yeah, like denim. Exactly, Cherie. That's exactly right. That's a really good way to describe it. This one has that texture again, but that's in the wild wheat. And you know what? Wild wheat is a color that has been a bit controversial. Of all the colors in our in-color ranges at the moment, this is the one people say, oh, I don't like that color. And even if you don't like that color, if you pair any color with other colors that really complement it, you can make it look good. Okay, wild wheat it looks like, especially like embellishments in wild wheat and so forth, or little bits of wild wheat in some paper, it can make it look amazing. So just bear in mind, even colors that you maybe aren't as keen on can be beautiful. This one's got like a watercolor flower in the background on that canvasy denim-y kind of fabric. Feature wallpaper, yeah, kind of like that, exactly. All right, then this one, see how here we've got that like watery color. There's actually two of those. There's a denim one of that, or sorry, Misty Moonlight one of that. Here's the wild wheat again. There's the one in the Misty Moonlight. And I like this. This is really beautiful, I think. I think that coloring is gorgeous. Look at that. It does look like it could be a lounge chair upholstery though, right? This one's probably my least favorite. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about this one that bugs me, but I like the canvasy paper on the back. I really like that. So I would say of all of these, this is the one I like the least. I would still use this. I still would use it. I think it's still great, but I think these are beautiful, these papers. So we're going to use those tonight. I haven't even really decided what I'm doing yet, but let's have a little look. Oh, and let me grab the embossing folder. Oh, I would grab the embossing folder if it was, oh, I know where it is. It's in my bag I took to class. This is the one. There it is right here. Can you see the pattern on that? Yeah, you can. And it's quite a, I've just ordered, of all the embossing folders, I like that this is like an all over design. So this is a really good one if you wanted to do, there's a couple of techniques that would look really great with this because you need an all over design for those. Hey, Donna, nice to see you. Sorry, Leslie, do you not have this set? I'm very surprised. I thought you would. I just think it's beautiful. If you don't want to be tempted, I should tell you these videos come with a warning. If you don't want to be tempted, maybe you shouldn't watch me because it's going to happen, right? All right, here's all our embossing folders. Those are on page 129. So you can see it's part of the suite, but it also has all of them together here. Now, this is the Dashing Designs. I have quite a lot of these, but the one that I've only just put on my most recent order is this one, Cute Crochet. I don't know if you can see it. And I do crochet. Can you see that? It looks like it would be, it is a 3D folder, but from what I've seen, and I watched Susan Canfield do a video with this the other day, and she used this one, and it's kind of a softer pattern. Like it's not as 3D as say the eyelet or the circles, the dotted circles. These ones are really deep embossing. This one not so much. Okay, so it gives you a nice subtle design, and I'm looking for that. I'll tell you what, Leslie, if you're going to do it, you want to do it while the bundle sale's on, right? That's the time to do it. All right, so let's, oh, and that's the last thing I wanted to show you before I put these away. On page 40, which is where these are, they've done some beautiful samples. So they use that Dashing Designs. Can we get it close? Can you see it? How nice that Dashing Designs. It really gives a good texture, doesn't it? All right, and they've used here on this card, they've actually used the paper I said I like the least, but it looks really good in that card. And I like that they've, done lots of different ways. They've used some different shapes like tiles here in the background. They've shown some of these different bits and pieces, played around with them. So I'm actually thinking I might, I'm going to start with a piece of basic white, which this is the thick cardstock. I've already folded it in half. I'm just going to use my bone folder. You'd be happy to know I found my bone folder after I couldn't find it on Friday night. And I'm actually going to actually emboss this through here, but I'm not going to do that just yet. It doesn't need to be done right now. I'll come back to that in a moment. And I'm going to, I think I'll use crumb cake. Which one should we use, guys? Which paper do you think we want to use? Because the one I really like is this. I think that's really beautiful. But the question is, will we go Moody Mauve or will we go Misty Moonlight tonight? So if I do crumb cake or even wild wheat, which color? If I match crumb cake with something, what shall we match it with? So I've got a piece of crumb cake card here, and that's going to fit just there inside. So it's exactly the right size. Oh, what are people saying? Moody Mauve's Leslie. Leslie, you got quick fingers. You were the first person. And then Donna said Moody Mauve. And then Sheila said Misty Moonlight. Sorry, Sheila, you're third in line. You missed out. I'm so sorry. Oh, Huey's saying hello to Cookie. Cookie, did you hear that? Cookie. Yes. I'm talking to you. Huey says hi. Huey is a conure, right? A sun. Did you say sunrise, sunset? Is it sunrise or sunset conure? I just think that's all right. If we're going to go Moody Mauve, let me pull out the choices. Actually, let's go into the one that I've already got open. Might as well use some of these pieces that have already been cut. I've got this. Oh, I've got more pieces. Huh. And I've got this. This is nice because it's not too big, and it's this. See, we've got this, and then this one's got this with the white flowers as well. So it's like this one is this plus some extra. So that might be nice. And I'm thinking, then we've also got this, but I'm thinking that's a big design for a small card. I prefer a big design on a scrapbook page, to be honest. But I'm thinking pineapple green cheek conure. Why didn't I think it was sunset or something? Why did I think that? So that's a really, I think I'll go with this one. And see, the nice thing about this paper is that it has it has all the other colors in it. So we've got early espresso in there. We've got a bit of mossy meadow in there, and we've got a little bit of misty moonlight. So you actually can play around with all of the different colors in this. And I'm going to grab my trimmer. Now I'm deciding whether to cut a piece that is going to go full all the way around, or whether I'm just going to go part of the way. So I'm cutting a piece to go inside my, oh, Cookie's got a lot to say. Okay, so this one actually fits right inside here, but I'm thinking it might be nice to cut this down. And do I want to have, I'm going to cut this just for a bit of interest. I think this will be nice. And we're going to cut this down, and then I'm going to have this, oh, actually it's too much the same. So let's pick something different. Nope. I'm looking to see what will look good with this. I want something very plain, or plainish, plainer. See, we could throw in some, that might be nice actually. But if I'm going to do that, I feel like I want to have a darker color behind. So I will change this. So let me cut this to 9.5 centimeters, which is the right width. Do you guys agree that we need to change the bottom color? Because this is going to be too much the same. I'm going to start with this. I'm going to cut this at 4 centimeters. I think it's going to be too big, but that's okay. I can always cut it down. It's better to cut it down more than make it too, yeah, it's too big. So we'll cut this down another 0.5 centimeter, so it comes to 3.5. That's better. All right. It's the right height. Looks good, but I think we need to switch out this color. You found the missing dimensional. I'm just looking here. You were trying to let me know. I sometimes ask about the flowers. I'm so sorry. White flowers, small. There is a sun conure parrot. Yep, I know the one. They're very pretty, aren't they? All yellows and oranges, as you might expect. Oh, okay. So it's Queen Anne's lace, of course. All right, I'm going to change this out, and I'm going to grab a scrap out of my scrap bucket. Is this the right size? No, it's too small. It's okay. I'll cut one. It's not a problem. So this is going to be 10 centimeters. This is card front size. It's 10 centimeters wide, which if you're in the US, it's going to be 4. And I'm just going to take the edge off that. And I think this will look better. See, it gives us a bit more depth now. There we go. What do you think? That's better, isn't it? It's better on the darker color. Ah, that's interesting. No, everyone's saying Misty Moonlight would have been a better choice, but I don't know. I'm happier with that. But guess what? I think I took too much off this piece. That's okay. I'm going to pop this down with my glue. So let's run this around. And I'm going to pop this right here in this. Now we still have this piece, and I'm going to come back in. I'm going to cut another piece because I did cut a little bit too much off that first one. Yep, that's better. Okay, so I'm going to glue all these down. And the reason I'm using two colors is really just to make it a bit more interesting than just having one color behind. All right. The brown's much nicer. I agree. I think so too. Like a wider border sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. But I don't know. I wanted it to be the same all the way around. So this one was just a little bit too narrow. So this is going to end up, this is going to be a landscape card, and it's going to go this way. So I'm going to cut out of my Wildflower Designs dies. I'm going to cut this one here because I really rather like that. I think it's rather nice. And we're going to cut that in white. So straight out of here. I'm deciding, do I want anything else? I might, we'll see. But I'm deciding, do I want anything else out of the dies. But let's bring our cut and emboss machine in. And I'm going to zoom out a bit so it's easier for you to see, because I understand. And that's when you get to see all my messy desk, but oh well. I'm going to pop this through here. And you'll see it does a couple of things. First of all, it's going to cut a frame, but it's also going to cut a hexagon in the middle, which I'm not going to use on this card, but I'll keep it for another card. That's, you know, that's nice, a nice hexagon to have in my scrap drawer. All right, and I'm going to use my take your pick tool. Oops. I'm going to get my pointy end, and I'm going to just pop these little dots out to pop it away from the frame. There we go. Like so. All right. Now this is going to end up here on my card. And I can have it, you know, to one side, but I actually think I might like it right in the middle, given that we have that kind of interesting background going on. I kind of like that. And then I have from another one of these frames I cut earlier, remember I just said before that I have these. So this is when I cut a neutral crumb cake frame earlier. This is what was left over from that. So that's what I'm using. And I'm going to pop it in my 3D embossing folder here, which is the Dashing Designs. It's part of the same suite. And this is a 3D embossing folder. Okay, so that means we need to change our sandwich when we put it through our cut and emboss machine. And if you're wondering what I'm doing talking about sandwiches, it's not because I'm hungry. It's because the order of the plates that you put different things through is what is known as your sandwich. Okay, because, you know, different pieces, it's like putting something in between two pieces of bread. In this case, we're going to use just platform number 1. We don't need 2 and we don't need 3. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab out of my bag every single time, guys. I keep on misplacing my 3D embossing folder. My 3D folder. Seriously, how do I do that? Mind you, last time I couldn't find it. It was where it should have been, and it's not there tonight. Seriously. If I can't find it, then I'll make it without it. But I'm just going to look here on my desk and see if it's under a pile of paper, because that's entirely possible, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm so sorry. This is where you get to see that I am very, very bad at remembering where to put things. But that's okay, right? It just means it's going to be slightly different to what I had in my head. And I'm going to look in the last couple of places it might be. And if I can't find it, then we're just going to go forge on ahead without it. I know it's on my desk somewhere. Guess what? It was with the folder that I got out earlier. All right, found it. 4. This is the one I want, the grey plate. This is the one that you put through with your 3D folders. I'm so sorry. Okay, so plate number 1, which is your platform, your base platform, number 1. Then you want your die, sorry, your embossing folder with the piece of paper inside. And then you want platform 4. That's it. That's all you need, okay? And if you're like me and you can't find platform 4 all the time, you can wangle it around and work out possible other solutions, but this is so much easier. This comes with the machine. You actually get a plate 4 with it, but my suggestion is that if you haven't got one or you can't find yours, and maybe I should take a note out of this book as well, I probably need to buy an extra one. Don't you think? That would make a lot of sense, so that I always know at least where one of them is. What's the bet then? I'd lose both. What do you think, guys? All right, so I've now embossed this. It's like magic when you put a piece of paper into your machine, like a normal piece of paper, and then all of a sudden we now have a fantastically beautiful embossed design. Okay, something else we could have done, and I'm now wishing I did, was we could have put white ink in here. Some of you would have seen my recent technique video where we did white ink inside embossing folders, and that looks fantastic on crumb cake. But in the fact that we don't actually have, let me grab out my white ink pad, and we're going to, it won't look as good as this. Oh, yay, Maria, you got a new machine. Actually, there's a couple of people here I know of that have got new machines while the special's been on this month. So fantastic. I'm just going to give this a little bit of white treatment. Can you see what I'm doing here? Okay, so you can get away with doing this as well. It doesn't work it's a bit messier than putting it inside the folder, and it doesn't work, I don't think, quite as well, but you still can. And it sort of highlights the design. Can you see how that's highlighting the design? It's a really cool thing to do, to add white to your folder. Now, here's a little tip for you, okay? I love giving you guys tips. When you've done this and you've got white ink, you could leave it dry, or you could hit it with a heat tool and dry it off a bit, okay? However, there's another way to do it that is going to dry it immediately, all right? Does anyone know what that is? Who wants to tell me what it is I'm about to do? It's easy. Oh, I better come back down so that we can get closer again. Here we go. That's better, isn't it? Oh, try and make it straight. Anyone want to guess? All right, this is my secret tool when it comes to, and it works good with white because this is white, so it's not going to make a mess of it. All right, so you just dab your embossing buddy over the top of your white ink, and now it's dry. So that's a little cheap way of doing it if you want to add some white ink to something and then you want to work with it straight away like I do right now, then you could do that and it will be dry. So how's that? Exactly, Rose got it. Give it to Cookie. No, that would not work. That would not work. Sit on it. No thanks. I've got black pants. That would be a bad decision for me. Yeah, it's a great tip. quite often if there are some things that are wet, not so much, I don't want to mess up my embossing buddy by, you know, getting ink all over it, but if you've got, and our classic inks dry immediately, you don't need to ever dry those, but if you've got other things like a bit of tackiness on there, you can get rid of that with the embossing buddy. Okay, so it's a handy thing to know. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to zip around here with a bit of glue, not much, don't need much at all. And I'm going to line this up so it's as centered as I can make it. And we're just going to pop that down. All right, starting to come together. Now this is going to go as a background. All right, so I could have used this as a sentiment, like put a sentiment in the middle of this, but I actually wanted the texture. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, one of the cards on the page where let's just grab this out for a second, because I'm sure there is a page here that for a sample. Yeah, this one here. And it looks to me like they've probably inked the inside of their embossing folder, and they've put the frame up and the piece inside down, and then they put another frame outside that again. But I like that they've got some of the stamps coming out from behind the banner here, and I thought we will probably put, my thinking was to put a banner across here as well. So I'm going to do something a little bit similar. Maybe that's where I got the idea from. Maybe sometimes I'm sure I, you know, don't even realize that I've picked up ideas from maybe browsing through a catalog or seeing an idea online, and didn't even realize that I took that into my head and played around with it and then regurgitated it and thought it was my own idea. But, you know. All right, so let's get our dimensional backings off. And I'm going to pop that up so it's just... All right, so it's pretty. Yeah, we like this. All right, so we are going to want a little banner, and I'm thinking we'll have some little flowers too. So in the one in the book, now I've realized that I'm basically working on an idea that came out of the book. I'm just going to go back to it. Okay, they've actually stamped theirs on white and then cut them out with the, I'm wondering whether I want to do that. Maybe I don't. I could cheat. Well, it's not cheating. I also noticed that they have like a second piece of the paper underneath. That's really nice. That's a nice idea. All right, I've got some white ink here. Oh, sorry, white paper. And I only want a small greeting. Do I want sending happy thoughts? I want something I can put on a long greeting. So either sending happy thoughts or thank you, which this one's 2 rows. It's a bit thicker than I want. I want a thin one. So either the thank you or the sending happy thoughts. Which one should we use? Hello, Dimity. Nice to have you with us tonight. Oh, you bought a machine too, Marilyn. Oh, you'll be so happy. Has it arrived? I'd love to hear what you think. Did you buy the big one or did you buy the little one? Yeah, I know. The need list. I know. Well, sometimes it's okay to have a want list, but, you know, the need list usually takes over. But then sometimes the lines get blurred between the wants and the needs, I think, sometimes. If you're on a budget, you kind of try and stick to what you know you need. But I tell you what, it's hard when there's so much that we want, right? All right, what are people saying? Sending, said Cherie. All right, so sending happy thoughts it is. That's the one we're going to do. And let me grab that out of the, this is a really nice, that's a really nice greeting, don't you think? It's really pretty. I like the greetings in here and I love the writing. I'm just going to grab block. And I'm going to do this in the early espresso ink, and I'm tapping it very gently to make sure I get, especially with a long thin sentiment, you need to just tap to get your ink on there, and do not rock your stamp, because it's really easy, especially if you, here's a little bit of stamping basics, okay, don't push your ink. Don't push your stamp into your ink, okay? Because when you do that, it pushes it down and then gets ink as well around the edges, especially on these rubber stamps, okay? And then that's when you can transfer that ink from around onto your page, which is called overstamping. So what we want to do is just tap it really gently just to make contact, and then check it to make sure you don't have any ink around there in case the ink is very, very inky. Sometimes that can still happen. All right, now I'm going to put this down towards the bottom of this white piece here. It's a nice greeting, isn't it? It looks handwritten, but you know, someone who has much nicer writing than I do, which is nice because that's something that a lot of people actually a lot of people say that when it comes to scrapbooking that they don't like their handwriting. I've heard a lot of people say that, which makes me a little bit sad because I think it's important, especially when you're scrapbooking, to actually use your handwriting on your projects, because one day when maybe, and I don't like to say this, but you know, when you're not around anymore, it'll be really lovely for someone to have a record of your handwriting, no matter what you think of it. I think that's really important. All right, so that's the sending happy thoughts, which is really nice. And I'm actually going to, will I flag the ends or cut them on an angle? Which way will we go? Maybe I'll flag them. If I'm going to flag them, I'll use my scissors to do that. All right, so when I flag ends, I cut in with my scissors right in the middle, like so, and then I cut from the corner and join up to the end of that cut. And that's the easiest way to get a nice flag that's pretty even without using a tool to do so. All right, but it's never going to be perfect unless you're using some sort of tool to do it. It has arrived. Okay, you haven't used it yet. Ooh, how exciting. There's something very exciting about having brand new, spanking new plates. All right, I'm going to cut this slightly shorter because it was a little bit long on that end. And I'm going to do the same thing to this end. And I'm going to cut from corner to the middle of that cut, and cut from this corner to the middle of the cut, like so. All right, so if you're going to flag ends, that's how you would do it. All right, so I can go straight across the bottom here, or I can go off to one side. And I kind of like the idea of going off to one side. I like the one in the catalogue. We're kind of playing around with that idea, aren't we? I like the one in the catalogue where they had a second piece underneath, which looked really cool. I'm wondering, maybe we could use this paper to do that, or like have a second piece sort of coming out under that. This one would look quite nice, or we could go with one of the other pieces in the paper. So given that we have this, which is nice, but that might be adding too much extra detail. I mean, we could go with the Misty Moonlight because we have the little blue flowers, so we'd get away with that. Does anyone else have any ideas about what you think would look really good underneath that piece? This piece is nice because it's got a bit of the Misty Moon, the Moody Mauve, as well as some white flowers. So that's not bad. What do we do? Oh, you like Misty? And Chris is saying that one side looks good. It's a really good set, Chris. I'm using this one tonight because this was kind of, to me, the sleeper set. I did not even look at this when I first got it in the when it first came out in the catalogue. I passed over this page altogether, and I saw a couple of people do things with it and thought, oh, that's really nice. And then I was preparing for a scrapbooking class and realized that it was going to be perfect for scrapbooking. Absolutely fantastic. So Chris said Misty, and Monique said early. All right. Then, well, let's try a little bit of this. I think it'll look nice. And what I'll do is I'll grab my, and how wide is the piece that we've got for our banner? Let me see. How wide did I make that? I made it 1.8, 1.7. So I'm going to, well, let's start with this at 2, and then we can always change our minds and cut it down if we want to. You can always cut things down, but you can't go back the other way, right? And then how long is it? So if I made this, let's go 10.5. And then I can cut this down if I need to. All right, so what I'm thinking is something like that. Off to one side a little bit and a bit of that blue in there. What do we think about that? Do we like that? Do we like the blue? I feel like that needs to be on an angle, but I don't mind it. Some glitter or mirror card? Mirror card. What's mirror card? I don't know what mirror card is. All right. Now I'm wondering if I like it better above or below. I think I like it below. All right. So I'm going to cut this on an angle. Grab my scissors again. And let's see. What angle I want that on. Okay, so I've now cut this on an angle, which is kind of interesting. There we go. I like it though. Now I do feel like we need to have some sponging around the edges of this, and I'm thinking maybe crumb cake for that. I think that might look good. My crumb cake looks green. Has anyone else done this? It gets a fair bit of sun where it sits, and the colouring of the outside of the packaging has gone green. I mean, the ink itself is not green, but yeah, that's kind of interesting. Let me see. I think I need to re-ink my crumb cake, but it'll look good anyway. I didn't want a dark colour going around this. I just want it to be quite neutral. The shiny stuff. Oh, okay. So, okay. Well, yes, we could do a specialty paper. Maybe I should have thought of that. That might be nice. Ooh, and we have gold. Oh, I could show you something that's coming that I'm not supposed to probably put with this, but I'm going to show you something that would look fantastic. All right, so I quite like the Misty Moonlight. I think that looks really nice. Oh, that's interesting because I didn't realize, but I cut that on exactly the same angle as the hexagon, so that looks nice. All right, so can you kind of see how that's looking? And then I think we need some flowers up here. So, okay, let me show you something that's coming. Hi, Nairi. That's okay. All right, I'm going to grab. This is new. Oh my goodness, this is vellum, guys. I'm so excited to be able to offer vellum again because, as some of you know, I've been lamenting the loss of it in the last catalogue. This is gorgeous, this stuff. So it comes in a pack of 6. It'll be available from, I think it's the 3rd of July. I should have checked that, but anyway. But look how nice it is. So you've got 2 sheets of each design. 2 of this one that looks like, to me, it looks very watery, like water beading on a windscreen or something. And then this one, and then this one, which is a smaller design. Love them all. I think they're going to be absolutely stunning. We could put something like that in here, and that would look kind of amazing. Should we do it? Or did you just, shall I just Do you know what? I'm sort of deciding what to do because I was going to just do a quick little card. Use the heavier one. Okay, let me have a look. The heavier one. And by heavier one, do you mean this one with more gold? Is that the one you mean? I think that's the one you mean. All right, let's grab. So this is coming in July, and there's a whole new, I've shown you the changing leaves, and while I'm doing this, I'm actually going to tell you about something that I'm kind of excited about. I'm just going to cut the edges very quickly with my, oh. All right, so this is basically the same shape. See, it's the same, exactly the same almost as this one. And then, although I didn't cut it on the same angle, but anyway, give you an idea. There you go. That's what the gold would look like poking out from behind there. What do you think about that? Do we like that? Or do we like the blue better? Anyway, there we go. I've been excited to show you that because I just think it's so beautiful. All right, let's grab our early espresso. And I'm going to pop this on a block. Oh, it just fits. And I'm actually going to do, let me think, I'm deciding which one. I'm going to do this one on a piece of crumb cake, which I still have some crumb cake floating around here. So give me a second. I'm going to grab that piece back out that we had before. And put the gold under the blue. Oh, we're going to do both. Okay. Right, so then we have that. And then this one I'm going to do on white. Oh, I'm going to do same color. Excuse me. All right, I'm getting myself in a mess. How do I do that all the time? You know how it is. I go off on this creative bent tangent, and then I find it really hard to find anything after that because it all goes in different directions. All right, so this is going to end up on here, and then this one is going to end up on here, and I'm going to cut those out, and then we're going to stick them on our card. And I'm going to quickly, I'm not going to bring my machine over this time. I'm so excited that some of you girls have gone and got yourselves new machines. That's so good. You'll love them. Personally, my favorite is the big one because it's, good for everything. So it's my personal favorite, but I do use the mini when I'm traveling, like if I'm away doing a class or something like that. And I will tell you that when you are lining these, when you're lining up any kind of die like this, you want to line up the stem because it's the thinnest part, and if you get the stem all lined up inside the die, then everything else falls into place. So just a little tip for you, when you're lining up, line up the stems first. Oop. I had it lined up and then I bumped it. And I want to show you why I did it the way I did it. One white and one crumb cake. Here's the white one. And then we have the one on the crumb cake. some of you may have seen me do this before, but I have a real love of white gel pens and white gel pen colouring on darker backgrounds. All right, so we're talking, I heard you all say you think it would look nice with okay. So I'm going to use a glue dot, I think, and stick. With all the rain today, apart from reading some of my book and doing a bit of crafting, and I also did a bit of baking. I actually made some, what do you call them? Okay, so that's how that's looking. And then this is going to go over the top of that. I could use, I'm just going to be lazy and use dimensionals to both add dimension but also to stick them together, which is actually a really good trick. You can do both jobs at the same time. Why not? All right, so we ended up with a little bit of gold on there as well, which just makes it look a little bit rich, right? Looks good. All right, I am looking to see if I have a white gel pen handy, and if I don't, I'll just add this to keep things moving along tonight. I will just keep it, I'll just do it as it is, and then I can always come back and add the gel pen later, because white gel pen is a bit of fun. So this is how this is going to go in here. So one like this, and a second one like this. The white gel pen will be amazing when you see how good it looks. So instead of this looking just sort of like dark, you'll have all that extra brightness to it. Whoop. I need to stick that down better. Right, I'm going to stick a glue dot behind this. And then a glue dot behind this one. And actually, I'm going to pop a dimensional behind here as well to make it pop up a little higher. Now I feel like we're going to need some of those beautiful textured dots, which I'll find underneath all this paper in a moment. And then as well as that, I feel like it maybe needs a little bit of linen thread. What do you think, guys? Linen thread is still one of my most favorite things. Let me see. Oh, it's good. I'm glad you like it, guys. It's coming together. It's just nice, isn't it, to play around with. So it's taken me nearly an hour to do one card. Goodness me. Too much chit chat. I'm so sorry. And too much losing things. And one of those nights. Never mind. Where do I want this? I feel like maybe something needs to happen over here. Definitely needs dots. Definitely needs dots. So let's move all the vellum and the bits and pieces out of the way. And if I can find them in the next 20 seconds, they'll go on the card now. Whoop, look at that. I found them. And let's add some of these. I'm deciding where I would like these to go. I'm going to have a bigger one down the bottom here, and I think a couple of little guys. Actually, I'm going to have a bigger one. Here we go. And it's going to go on the white card base that we folded, that I pulled out earlier. There we go. And when I add that bit of, you'll have to check back on my Instagram or Facebook page tomorrow, and I will add the white gel pen colouring. That's just going to take a bit more time than what we have tonight. So not so much a quick and easy card tonight, but still, it turned out nice. And for anyone who is wondering what to do, I just think, I haven't personally, I don't think, this is a bold claim, but I don't think it's possible to make a bad card with this particular suite of products. Everything goes together so beautifully, and it's just, you know, it's just beautiful. But yeah, when I add some white gel pen in here, that's going to brighten that whole area up, and it'll be gorgeous. All right. So that's card number 1, and I know I'm out of time really, but I'm going to show you the new products that are coming. And I want to tell you something else that I'm thinking of doing and starting with next month. I'll tell you more about this over the next week or so, but I'm thinking about doing something special in July because, you know, Christmas in July and all that, right? So we have all these lovely new products coming out next month. So I'm going to pull out some of the bits and pieces. There's this one here called Golden Greenery. Okay, I like sets with lots of, you know, pine fronds and leaves and things like that. And the dies that go with this are fabulous. But can I just tell you, I'm having a lot of trouble seeing these as bells. They're meant to be bells, and all I can see is salt and pepper shakers. Sorry. Sorry, Stampin Up or whoever designed this. I'm so sorry because I really like the set, but I just, is anyone with me? Or did I just spoil the set for somebody else, for everybody else? So sorry. So this is what they call a mega suite. Okay, you too. I know, right? So it's not just me. Okay, so yeah, I'm seeing salt and pepper shakers, and from there I go Doctor Who, and we go to the Daleks. So yeah, I'm sorry, it's not always a good thing to be inside my head. It's Cookie. Shh. He's got something to say. So here are our salt and pepper shaker framelits or bells. They are nice bells, but I think because they're longer rather than wider, they have that salt and pepper shaker look. All right, so we've got these guys in here which cut out little berries. Then you've got some different dies that cut out these lovely leafy bits, okay, but you also have some standalone dies. So I can see, you know, wreaths and things being made with some of these. These are really lovely. They're really, really nice. So there's this, okay. This is the die set. There are 13 dies in the pack and the matching stamps. And also the vellums that I've already showed you. Those are in there. Guess what? There are 2 sets of vellum. Not 1, but 2. Here is another set of vellum that is part of this suite. And these are vellums too, all right? So they are not window sheets. They're definitely vellum, okay? So you can see from one side which is the right side, which is not, okay? These, I believe, I'm pretty sure these cut out with the dies as well. So let's have a little look. I'm pretty sure they do. Let's check them. I'm thinking I might not get time to make another card. Yeah, look, they do. They match. So, yeah, you can cut out your vellum pieces with the dies, so that's kind of cool. Then there are 2 sheets of each design, 3 different designs, so 6 sheets in here. There's this one. This is actually my favorite, this one. I love this. It's like white, textured white vellum. Isn't that nice? So you could use that over, you know, darker DSPs or darker cardstock to get a really fabulous textury kind of effect. Love that. And then this one here, I think this one cuts with dies as well. Does look like it, doesn't it? Let's see. This one, I think. Yeah, they do. Look. So they also cut with the dies. So that one, and then the other leaf that's here, the lighter leaf, that's this die here. So these have got a lot of potential for, you know, excellent cutting ability, which we love. And, of course, it's vellum. But the vellum I'm most excited about in this pack is the white. I think that's going to be super, super useful. Yes, like a snowy background or something like that. The sprig vellum is gorgeous. I know, right? Yeah, I don't think I'm the only one to think it from what I'm hearing. All right, so then we also have some gorgeous DSP in this suite. So how nice is this? This is obviously a specialty DSP because look how shiny it is. Oh my gosh. So it's double-sided DSP. Sometimes the shiny ones are single-sided, but this one is not. And you've got that gorgeous gold to it. Just beautiful. And then on the back, you've got like Mossy Meadow and it looks to me Mossy Meadow and Old Olive. That's my guess. Let's see what it says on the back. Garden Green, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pecan Pie, Very Vanilla and Gold. So I am right. It's Mossy Meadow and Old Olive on the back of this one. Then this. I mean, another specialty shiny goldness. My goodness me. I know. How can you just have to I mean, thank goodness they give us 2 sheets of each, right? I mean, I could say you need 2 packs, but I'm not going to say that, right? But this is the back of that one. All right. So you got like little Christmassy kind of leaves. I was thinking too, this has got like little berries in it. You could color those red and that would make it very Christmassy. But it doesn't have to be Christmas. It can be other occasions as well. Then we have this. I love paper that can be Christmas or you can use it for other things. But some of them, to me, are very Christmassy. Like, to me, that's quite Christmassy. I think it's gorgeous. But I would colour those berries red. What do you think? Don't we want to colour them? When are those available to demos? Now, Nairi. Now. This is pre-order. That's why I have them, because we were able to pre-order this month. We were able to get them from the beginning of July. And then on the back we've got kind of a little dotty plain design there. And then this one, which is also cut out with the dies again. And that's got like it's got gold foil through it. On the back of that, you've got some Mossy Meadow and Old Olive stripe, which is actually really nice. Then we have little gold diamonds. Can you see it? Super nice. My gold doesn't show up very well under the light. I know this. And then on the back here, we have this guy. And then we have our salt and pepper shakers. No, sorry, our bells. Because they do look more like bells when they're joined together with a bow, right? But these single ones look like salt and pepper shakers. I'm sorry, I can't not see them. That's okay, Nairi. Demonstrators always get pre-order the month before they go live to customers, or usually, okay? In the past, we had online exclusives that went live to demonstrators and customers on the same day. Now they've actually brought it back that we actually get a month to pre-order. So, and that's been like that now for, I don't know, all this year. I'm not sure when that started, but I know there's no red at all, but you could easily add it, okay? And it would, no, what are you saying, Leslie? No online exclusives? Darth Vader. Where's Darth Vader? Oh, sorry. Am I breathing hard? Is that what it is? And on the back we have, everybody loves a tartan or a plaid for those of you who live in the US. Oh, I know. Now you're all going to see it, and you've only got me to blame. I'm so sorry. But anyway, there you go. That's the papers that match this suite. So, like I said, this is one of those what they call mega suites, which means there's 2 stamp sets and 2 dies. I've showed you one, and I'm going to show you the other. The other one is a sentiment set. And I've got to tell you, I love a good sentiment set. This one is called Greetings of the Season, and it's got all these lovely Christmassy greetings. Okay, so I always love It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. I think that's lovely. And I love that in Australia, we do not say Happy Holidays. It just feels, to me, I just can't say that because it's something I would never say. And I think most of my Australian friends are the same. And with this set, you don't have to. You've got Happy Holidays, but if you don't want to say Happy Holidays, you can do happy, because they're separate, Happy Christmas or Merry Christmas or Happy New Year. So you've got options. You don't have to say it in a weird way, okay? These are online exclusives, yes. No, no, no. These are not September mini. These are online exclusives out at the beginning of July. So online exclusives come out on the months that are in between the catalogs. Okay, so last month, May, we got a catalog. So that means 2 months later in July, we get online exclusives. Then 2 months later in September, we get a mini catalog. Okay, then 2 months later in November, we'll get online exclusives. So that's how it works. The online exclusives fill in the periods in between the mini catalogs. Sorry, what is everyone saying? No. So we do the stamp sets. Some of you, oh, I've got so many things to show you. I'm sorry, guys. We're not going to get another card done tonight. I am so sorry. So for anyone who's just here for another card, bye-bye. Have a fantastic week. But if you just want to hear what I have to say for a second before you go, these cards that I made yesterday, some of you may have seen these being posted around on the internet today. These were part of the Nest of Winter? I think it's Nest of Winter Suite, which are coming in the mini in September. So yes, Cherie, these ones are minis for September, these ones. We got to play with those at the demonstrator event called Creativity Now yesterday. So if you are a demonstrator and you registered for Creativity Now but you didn't have time to watch it yesterday, you can go in and watch the replay. So we had the opportunity, if you were registered for the event, that you could buy this suite ahead of time. So that one won't be out until September. This one that we're looking at right now is out in July. So there we go. I know. Thank you. And now that's actually not the this birdie wasn't the one that they actually were going to use one of the birds from the stamp set, and I elected instead to cut this little birdie because there's a whole bunch of birds on one of the DSPs, and I elected to cut the birdie out of the DSP because I wanted the blue bird on the blue background. So that was just my personal take on it. But those 3 cards we made yesterday, and we did a box as well. So you could use holiday stamps for people who are going on holidays. Absolutely, you could. We just don't say happy holidays at Christmas time, right? Well, I don't personally anyway. So, yeah, it's a really nice set, that one. And, you know, I'm so excited about it because this is it. This is the one that's coming out in September. I did not expect to love this as much as I do. I thought it was nice, but I used it yesterday and I've fallen in love with it. It's just fabulous. I love everything we made. I loved all the other samples they showed us. It was fantastic. So this one, because it has the greetings of the season, then it has matching dies, which are fantastic. Look at these. We've got all these beautiful like tags. They've got a little hole in the top of each one, or you can just use them as banners on cards or whatever you want to use. We've got a couple of long ones here, but there is a hole in each one if you want to use them as Christmas tags. So I love these. I think they're fantastic. The other thing that yesterday, for those of you that our demonstrators weren't able to go yesterday, they also gave us sneak peeks of some other product that's coming in the mini. So we were very lucky yesterday to get lots and lots of stuff. The other thing, there is something else in this box. This is all part of this same suite that I haven't showed you yet. And one is, you know how Cherie, you said there's no red? Well, we do have these. So you could use these in place of, you know, adding red if you like. So we've got these are called the Cherry Cobbler and Pearl Adhesive Backed Berries. And so you can add these if you want to add some red to your green stuff. So that's them there. I thought they were really nice. And they're little groups of berries in 3s, or there's single ones. And there's also white. So those are really nice. They're part of the suite. And the last thing that I haven't showed you yet is the beautiful satin ribbon. It's a cream satin ribbon. It's very vanilla, actually. And it's lovely and wide. So really nice for maybe wrapping around a present or, you know, tying up something. Yeah, there's not enough. I know. I agree, but they're very nice. Oh, is there an embossing folder? Is there? Oh, yes, there is. I put it away. That's why. I put it in my embossing box. Thank you for the reminder. Because it's a really big embossing folder. Let me see if I can find it. I haven't even opened up the packet yet. This is it. Okay, it's called Birchwood 3D embossing folder. It's one of those really big ones. And it's going to do like a textured wood and background. as you can see. It's really rather, let me see if I can put it on a dark color so you can see it better. See, there we go. Really nice texture that if you want to add that to a background. So that's also part of this suite. Thank you for the reminder about the folder, because I did not get that out. So thank you. And so that is all I have to show you tonight. I wanted to show you all these. I have shown you the changing leaves before, and I started to talk about this before. I am thinking of doing something a bit different next month. So we have Craft Along, which happens every month, as you guys know. But next month I'm thinking about doing something special. I'm actually going to offer a Zoom class for anyone who buys a specific product with me. So I'm just deciding exactly what that's going to look like. But right now I'm thinking about working possibly with the Changing Leaves bundle, okay, that anyone who purchases that in the first 2 weeks of July, I will do a special Zoom class for you at the end of July, because you would need to have the stamps and the dies in order to do the class with me. So I'm thinking about doing that for anyone who's interested. That Changing Leaves bundle is absolutely beautiful. I'm looking forward to playing with it some more. It's got gorgeous dies. And I think it's going to be super popular. So I'll probably pull that out and show you more of that over this next week. I'll just give you a look at the stamp set though. So this is the stamp set. It's called Changing Leaves. And then there are matching dies and also a hybrid embossing folder that cuts out a beautiful background. I'm thinking about doing that. So I don't know if anyone would like to do that. When is Craft Along? Next Thursday, the 27th. Thank you for asking. The 27th at 2 p.m. So that's this coming Thursday, the 27th of June. And we are making it's going to be a card in a box this time. And I can't wait to make that with you. The supplies are all going in tomorrow's post for anyone who purchased with me last month. So every month, if you make a purchase with me and it's $60 or more, or you have purchases over the course of the month that are $60 or more, then I will send you all the supplies to make a project with me live. And so that's going to be happening this coming Thursday. Goodness me, there's a lot happening, isn't there? Oh, there we go. So what did you guys see? Would be good for the birdhouse. Oh, it would. Wouldn't that be good? A wolf slinking across the middle. Really? I hadn't thought of that. I need to have a better look at this. I'm assuming you mean the folder. I'll have to have a better look and see if I can find the wolf. All right, you ladies. Well, it's been fantastic spending a lot of time with you tonight. I know I went a little bit longer than I normally do, and we didn't probably get through all that much, but I feel like it was a good night anyway. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. You enjoyed it? Fantastic. Yeah, bring on the 3rd of July. So if you're a demonstrator, you can get these pre-orders on all the online exclusives. They're available now, okay? But if you're a customer, you're not a demonstrator, then you can get them from the 3rd of July. So, okay, I'll go have a little look. All right, so it's up near the top. I'll go check it out. All right. See you again very soon. Don't forget Technique Tuesday. I will be around at 2 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon. And if you're in my team, I'll see you guys at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, or maybe on the replay. See you soon, guys. Have a great week. Bye-bye.